Hello everyone, welcome to North Star Mystic Tarot. Today our subject is, what does your inner child most need to hear right now? And what can you do to help your inner child at this time? This is an evergreen reading, which means that it will be applicable whenever you watch it. The first pile has an abalone shell. The second pile has an amethyst. Tumbled amethyst. The third pile has a garden quartz. And the fourth pile has a citrine, a tumbled stone. Go ahead and intuitively feel into the pile that is right for you, and I will see you at the timestamp, which you can find in the comments, as well as the description. Alright, we'll see you there. Alright, if you chose the abalone shell, this is your reading. Let's see what we got. First we have the Page of Swords. And then we have Death. Well, that's an interesting start to our reading. It looks like you just ended something. Look how this individual is looking at the Death card, like she's looking backwards, looking behind her. You can see the wind is blowing this direction, but the gaze is this direction. The birds are flying this direction. The sword is pointing this direction, but the wind is blowing. So this person is going against the wind, looking back and looking at the Death card. So you just ended something. Okay. What more does this group need to know? Oh, we have Four of Wands, so you're looking for comfort right now and stability. We have the High Priestess in reverse. So whatever you let go of, something has really caused you to shut down. Yeah, Five of Cups, loss. So, okay, so this is your situation. If this resonates with you, then this is your reading. And it looks like the loss has to do with your home life. And you might be facing homelessness, or you might be having to walk away from somebody that you lived with. Your inner child, you might have had parents divorce or had parents fighting a lot. So let's find out what your inner child needs now that we know the situation. All right, I see an angel, your guardian angel, with you. Oh, we have a card from a wrong deck in there. What message does your angel have for you, for your inner child? That's the question. We have the Magician and Death again. So you're conquering death. You're conquering an ending here. You are letting go of the past and taking control of your present. You have all of your tools. You must have been working really hard. You have all your tools. The pentacle for being grounded. The sword for clear thinking and action. The cup for emotional wellness. And the wand for power, creativity. So your inner child is ready to be bold, strong, and is ready to let you be in control. That means that you are considered a safe parent for your inner child. Okay? You're rising from the dead. Getting over the loss. Getting past it, overcoming it. Four of Cups. So right now you are holding back. You're pulling your power into yourself. That's what she's doing in this card. She's pulling into herself. She's not paying attention to what's going on around her. She's going within. So you got to just walk away from everything that has ended. All of it. Start over. You guys are going through some intensity right now. Okay, let's see. We have High Priestess, this time upright. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. So it looks like you have support as well. You have resources, you have support, and you also have the determination. So your inner child is recognizing that you are ready to be in charge, and that allows your inner child room to be present. When your inner child knows that you are going to take care of him or her. And it looks like you are. You're taking care of things. And you have support. Yes. You have support. You're going to make it. You're doing the right thing. You got this. All right, guys. So that's our first message. We're going to pull another spread. And I'm going to pull from the Woodland Warden's deck. All right, we have the Horse and the Bluebell for modest fortitude. We have the Dragonfly and Pansy for balance. And then we have the Bobcat and Blackthorn for patience. This patience card mirrors the Seven of Pentacles from earlier. And so this is showing you not only have support from in the physical world, in the form of friends and resources, but you have support in the spirit world. You have spirit guides and spirit animals, and you have nature and the power of earth, the earth energies, the elements. You have all of these things as well. And so this is showing where you're gonna go. With modest fortitude, you will have balance. Modest fortitude and patience will bring you balance, and this is where you're headed. We have the Moth and the Eucalyptus for an ending. So that's mirroring the Death card. It's also number 13, just like it is in the tarot. And it has this moth with a skull. Then we have the Skunk and the Magnolia for protection. And so that's what you're taking care of right now. So these are your validator cards to show that this reading was a complete message, and this is the right message for you, okay? All right. Take good care of yourself, do what you got to do, and lean on others for support, but also stay in your power. Okay. Take care, and let me know in the comments how this resonated with you. I'm curious. All right. Take care. Bye. All right, if you chose the Amethyst, this is your reading. What does your inner child need right now? We have the Nine of Swords, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So you've been through a rough period, is what it's showing here. What else do we need to know? What else do we need to know? Ooh, what happened there? Okay, those just flipped over, so we'll take them. We've got the Four of Pentacles, pulling within, conserving your resources. We have the Knight of Swords, things moving quite quickly. Then we have the Seven of Cups for options and choices. So it looks like you're in kind of a bad situation, and you have to make a decision, and there's some time constraints here. You have to make a decision before things start moving quickly. You have to do it now. But you're overwhelmed, so you're pulling within. So if this resonates with you and is your circumstance, then this validates that this is your reading. And when it comes to your inner child, I'm particularly drawn to the Nine of Swords. We're going to keep that card because your inner child feels resonant to the Nine of Swords, which is about worry. Often worry about things that may not actually be super, it's not an imminent danger, but you're worried that something's going to go wrong. That's what the Nine of Swords is. So we have a lot of cards here, but we'll go with the ones that we're showing. We have the Empress and then Ten of Swords. So you may have lost someone you were very close to when you were a child. And the grief has been very hard to get through. So this situation is the childhood situation that is at the origin of whatever you might be experiencing right now. So we have the Weasel and Pine for introspection. And this paired with the Nine of Swords is showing that because the Nine of Swords is exaggerated fears and worries. And this introspection is showing that introspection is not the same thing as the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is worry. Worry and introspection are not the same. Worry has to do with ruminating. Introspection has to do with considering things. Okay, it's a different type of analysis. One is driven by fear and anxiety. The other is driven by curiosity and a desire for understanding. So you can transmute or change your fear and your worry into introspection, and you could do that through making lists or through journaling. We have the Crow and Dogwood for intelligence. And so often people who are the most intelligent are the ones who worry the most because they are so aware of all contingencies and all aspects and everything that could happen. And I also feel like you have a crow as a spirit guide right now because the crow is facing up at the worrying individual. So what does our inner child need right now? We have the bat and hellebore. Hellebore is poison. And the bat is considered an animal that represents intuition because of its ability to hear through vibration. And so I'm hearing this is your inner child trying to communicate with you. We have the Ten of Swords here. And so this is a place of almost like the Death card in a way, like in a lot of ways. And we have hellebore here. And so this is the part of you that was injured. Your inner child was injured and is trying to talk to you. And that's the intuition that the bat card is pointing you to. And what you can do is you can replace the Nine of Swords worry with intuition and let bat be a spirit guide. Bat and crow can be a spirit guide for you. So what we're doing here is we're transmuting some of the more difficult emotions into slightly less difficult emotions, transforming rumination into introspection, transforming anxiety into intuition. Because this is the part of your intelligence that is too aware of the negativity, right? That was the problem. And you can transform that into intuition. I feel you have a particular ancestor who has a message for you. We have the owl and hop for wisdom. See, this is showing ancestors and our wise elders, they don't worry so much about things anymore. They've accepted grace. And that is wisdom. That is the wisdom of knowing that things pass. Something that feels like a big deal is something that we can grow into and then grow past. We can learn. We can use our intuition. We can use our introspection. And we can learn and transcend it. And so you have a very loving ancestral figure with you. Feels very grandmotherly, who wants to just hold that inner child. And I think it's a good idea, if that resonates with you, to let that grandmother figure hold your inner child for a while. Because your inner child needs that safety and protection of wise elders right now. All right. What else? Oh, well, I didn't even have time to ask. What else do we need to hear? We have 2 5s, so change. You are probably going through change right now, and that might be why your inner child is looking for a little bit of solace. We have the 5 of Cups for disappointment, and we have the 5 of Swords for winning at all costs. So you may have recently been through a major argument or the ending of a relationship. And you're grieving that. And your inner child just doesn't want to deal with any more sword energy, right? Any more disappointment. So what your inner child needs the most is comfort. Comfort. Buy yourself some flowers and set them by the side of your bed. Buy yourself some flowers. Set them by the side of your bed. And then when you sleep, invite that grandmother figure, the ancestor, represented by the owl, to comfort your inner child, because sometimes that kind of stuff can happen, like the metaphysical journeying happens when we sleep. It's a good time to make that connection. So I'm hearing there's one more bit of advice for you, for your inner child, and we'll pull a few more cards for you. What more does this group need to hear? Okay, what do we got? We have six. Oh, look at that inner child. We have the 6 of Cups. We have the 8 of. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys, 8 of Swords is about being stuck and unable to feel free to move. You may have had some really hard times in your childhood and as you go through hard times in your adulthood, it can compound, if we haven't fully healed the inner child yet. 6 of Swords, you may have just wanted to leave this world after going through so much trauma as a child. You just want to go away. But you can transform that feeling of just wanting to leave the world totally to just wanting to move on to calmer waters. You can see the waters are choppy right here, but they're peaceful up ahead. In the 6 of Swords here. So how do you give your inner child that peace? What do? We have the caiman and the poppy for dreams. So that is answering the question by referring to what I had just talked about with inviting your grandmother ancestors to be with you in your dreams and before you sleep. And what else we got? Spirit. Oh. And we have wisdom again. So this is just your validation that in order to move on to calmer waters and find peace, tune into the wise elders, your grandmothers in spirit, and ask them to be with you and meditate a few minutes before you go to bed. And I said to put flowers by your bedside. That's kind of a ritual to invite them in. It doesn't have to be poppies, but it's good to take some of those actions that invite in these experiences. Sort of like when you set up an altar. You might have an altar, but by putting the flowers next to your bed, flowers represent an open heart. Flowers represent an open heart and invitation and love. And it's just a way to invite those spirits to be with you when you sleep and to help you in your dreams. So that is the first step. The next step we need to take to find peace and calm waters. I have a feeling some people in this group are in a very desperate mental and emotional state. So I want to add a little more. Beaver and birch for home. So you're just looking for home, for the 4 walls around you. And the beavers make their own home with what they have, and they're content with that. So whatever your home looks like now, whether it's very minimal or not, use what you have, create the best home space that you can, and also trust that your spirit guides are going to help you if you need to find a better home, to find one, okay? See, they're repeating. We have 5 of Cups again. So, and we have the World. So you just want all of this to be done. And your guides are saying, when we move through emotional things, they are spiritual lessons that happen in phases. So you are just about ready to move on to the next phase where things will be a bit lighter, okay? And it's really important for you to know that the phase you're going through isn't going to last forever. We have the Wheel of Fortune, which is about the turning of time and turning to new phases. And so let's look forward to the next phase. What you're going through now, you will be able to let go. You will be able to move to calmer waters, and you have an action you can take to bring comfort to yourself and your home. Okay? If you need any additional insight, you can find my booking link in the description. And I hope you really are able to find peace, because it sounds like your inner child's going through it. And I just want to send you a big hug and lots of love. Okay, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye. Hello there. If you chose the Garden Quartz, this is your reading. Let's see what your inner child needs to hear from you. Page of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles. This is showing you have a really great idea for something that you can work on career-wise, and your spirit guides are encouraging you to go ahead and start that. And this points to you being a very creative child as well. And so this is about learning how to trust your creative impulses. What else does this group need to know? Yeah, Ace of Swords. Yes, when I get an ace, that's a confirmation. You have a good idea. You have a really good idea right now for something that's going to bring you income and potentially be a career, and it will be a career. I see it getting big, okay? And so if this is your situation and resonates with you, then this is your reading. All right, so let's see what you need to know. King of Swords, Four of Swords, Ace. You got another ace. Woohoo, this is exciting for you guys. Ace of Cups and Nine of Swords. So, there's something that happened recently in the past that made you really unsettled. And you're having a hard time sleeping at night. But this makes me feel like your dreams are giving you positive messages. And this man feels like a grandfather spirit guide to me, the King of Swords. So you have some subconscious worries and fears. But Spirit is trying to tell you all is well. Your inner child needs to know all is well. It's okay right now. You are on a destined path right now, which is cool. I don't always get to say that. Sometimes we have free will and creative license in our life. Sometimes we have destinies, and destinies are fun because it feels like the whole universe is pushing you forward, like you have the wind in your sails. We have the Knight of Swords, swift movement. He is moving with the wind here, fast. We have Five of Cups for disappointment, and we have the World card for, what is this for you guys? The World card, this is what you're going, where you're headed with your idea. But see, you have so much available to you, but you're feeling this disappointment. So this is about you. You have so much good energy around where you're heading, but you're also upset. You're disappointed because you still have things from your childhood that are making you feel like you can't do it. Okay, so if this resonates, again, this is your reading. Let's find out what we need to do to help your inner child know that she can do it. He, she. What messages does the inner child need? We have the Frog and the Lotus, Metamorphosis. So you're going through a change. Changes are a little rocky. That's why we had so many positive cards as well as some worrisome cards about worry, because you're going through change. So you can see and feel the benefits, but you still are letting go of some things from your past. So you have the Five of Swords for winning at all costs and the Ten of Swords. So you might have this old pattern of feeling like in order to avoid this, you have to do this. in order to not be attacked and stabbed in the back, you have to take all the swords to yourself at everybody's expense. It's about having to fight and prove yourself and be on top. Okay? You never want to experience this again, so you're making sure you never have to. That's old energy, okay? That is from childhood wounds. Okay, we have the Eight of Pentacles again, so that's again, it's about something you're going to do for work. And the High Priestess, so it's spiritual work, or work that your intuition is leading you to, or some kind of creative side of you. So you're a hard worker. And you're a good person, but you have this dark past behind you. And so your inner child is needing to get through this part, past this part. And that's the hang up. We have modest fortitude for Horse and Bluebell here. So that's just about having earnest intentions, right? Sincere, earnest intentions. And that's how you break through the violence. Whew, that cleared a lot of energy when I said that part out loud. That Horse and Bluebell just emanates innocence in the presence of those violent cards. We have Butterfly and Snowdrop for hope. Okay, so what you need is renewed hope. You need to have hope that you can be in this energy and you can let go of this energy. Okay? Two of Pentacles. So you're a little worried. It's a little hard for you to balance this out. You're wondering if you can do it. And here's another balance card with Judgment. And so if you're wondering how to create the balance, this is how you do it. The Judgment card is about letting go of things you don't need anymore. So you need to do an inventory of what you don't need anymore, either emotionally, mentally, or physically in your life. And then you also need to weigh by how you determine whether to let something go is whether it feels light or heavy. This is Anubis weighing your heart against a feather. If your heart is light, you get to ascend. So that's the lesson. Stick with what makes your heart light. Focus on that, embrace that, and bring more of that in. That's the message for your inner child. I feel like you guys need a little more. I feel like the people watching this particular one, you guys are going through some stuff, some deep purging and release, which is good. It's just rough, you know, and we're going to get through it. We have the Boar and Pumpkin for confidence. Boar, determination. Boars are tough. Queen of Swords, she is an impartial decision maker. And her head is clear because she doesn't let her heart get in the way of what she wants to say and do. And that's okay. So this is showing, look at these two cards. We have this pentacle looking like a rising sun, and then we have her dress mirroring the dawn, the way that it's light. The light is coming down, almost like it's coming from this pentacle. Isn't that cool? So this great idea is something that is going to take you places, and you need to be impartial as you make decisions and move forward. Just release the emotional drama. It's weighing you down. It's not necessarily your drama, it's other people's drama, but still, you gotta drop it. And you gotta, in order to do that, it's hard to drop things sometimes, but you do it through confidence. You just say, no more of that. I don't want it. It may cause a struck tower moment of disruption. And you may be going through that right now. But these two cards flanking the middle cards, they're so peaceful. They bring me peace when I look at them. They're calm. The sky is clear. You have to be confident in your idea and confident in your communication and execution of your ideas. Clear-headed, okay? Because when you're clear-headed, you can overcome struck tower moments of difficulty or unexpected disaster. Your inner child is asking you to be confident and to make clear decisions that you're confident in. So this card is about the infinite positive and negative cycle from the deck This Might Hurt. Because it might be good, or it might hurt. Very similar to the Wheel of Fortune and the Strength card. And then we have Eight of Pentacles again. So you're someone who has, in the Judgment card, you have applied yourself. And you got to recognize how far you've come and all the wisdom that you have. You have really applied yourself. You may have overcome symptoms of a personality disorder, or may have one, or a lot of anxiety, some kind of mental health concern that takes you into ups and downs. But you work very hard, and it's that steady, hard work that you need to give yourself credit for, that your inner child wants you to give yourself credit for. And then once you give yourself credit for that, then weigh your heart against a feather, right? And see if your heart still feels heavy. And let go of anything that weighs your heart down. Let's see what we got. We have the Rooster and Sunflower for communication, mirroring that Queen of Swords card. So you will be having some conversations, and you will learn to be a very excellent communicator, if not already. This card reminds me a little bit of Cancer, somehow. I don't know why, but it does. It's like humble, but also and real. Okay, let's pull one more for you guys. We have the Antelope and Wheat for nourishment. So take good care of yourself in this process as you learn to use your voice more. Okay, we're just going to pull one more card for you guys to see what you need. Oh, I guess we're doing two. Eight of Wands and 10 of Pentacles. Looks like you're going to be visiting family sometime soon. And you're going to need to travel. You might be traveling by air, by plane to go see them. And for some of you, this might be an urgent visit or a visit made on the fly. And you'll be able to reconcile with a lot of the pain from your past as you visit, next time you visit your family, whenever that is. For a lot of you, it's going to be very soon. But regardless, for this group, you're going to be making some repairs with your family coming up. And I think that this will resolve a lot of the pain and lighten your heart quite a bit. And we have this communication card here. So it's like you're getting your own house in order, taking good care of yourself with nourishment, and getting yourself pretty cleared up so that you can have this repair work happen. And I think you're going to be leading it. And I keep hearing Cancer. I feel like the sign Cancer, and I feel like a lot of people watching are Cancers. And we have the Justice card. So yeah, you're going to be creating balance within yourself, and that's going to allow you to be able to communicate with family members better so that you can make some progress. So hopefully this reading resonated with you. If you need any additional insight, I am offering a discount code if you want a direct personal reading, which you can get below, which is offered over Zoom. And I'd love to know how this reading resonated with you. Let me know below in the comments. All right. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye. All right, you guys, if you chose the Citrine, this is for you. What does your inner child need to hear today? We have the Five of Pentacles for feeling left out in the cold. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So someone may have taken swift action against you and it caused you pain. Left you feel like you were being left out in the cold, either literally or figuratively. Let's see what else we need to know about this situation. I don't know if that's you or the other person. King of Cups. High Priestess. Nine of Wands. So you might be going to school right now. You might be studying for a new career, a trade school or a traditional university or certification program. You might be doing continuing education programs right now, or looking into doing some kind of certification program or schooling. And as you're looking into this, there was something that let you down, a person or a situation that really let you down, and it was pretty quick. And you didn't really see it coming because you've been following your intuition and you were pretty happy. All right, let's see. What does your inner child need right now? We have the quail and gooseberry for anticipation. And we have the porcupine and anemone for boundaries. So when I saw this, the first thing I thought was somebody kicked you out. Like you were staying with somebody and they kicked you out. And over here, I feel like anticipation refers to your new direction of study. But you need to have time and space to study, and you can't be around people who are loud. There's something here about you not being able to study, or some kind of conflict where there's just not compatibility where you live. It could be neighbors as well. Maybe if they play loud music or something like that. So you're trying to be empowered and set your boundaries, but something's not quite working out right. So what does your inner child need to get through this? That's the question. So we'll collapse these ones. And we'll ask for direction for your inner child. All right, what does your inner child need? What does your inner child need? We got this one again, quail and gooseberry for anticipation. So we got a repeat. I wasn't going to pull from this deck. I haven't been, but for you guys, Spirit told me to pull from this deck. It's called For Strange Women, Medicine Garden. So this is about taking some kind of medicinal tincture or herbal tincture, using the healing powers of nature for healing. So you might be struggling with some kind of illness or condition. You have the Hierophant for tradition. You might be following a particular religion right now. We have 10 of Cups for family. So if you do have a chronic condition, it may have been inherited from your family, genetic. We have the King of Swords for making bold judgments and decisions, thinking clearly, wise counsel, all of that. So it looks like you have a living family member who is male, and he's either who is related to you or who feels like family. And this might also be someone in spirit who is your family, a man who is here to guide you and help you logically and carefully move through whatever is getting in your way at this time. Okay? And you may have been raised in a certain religion, which could give you comfort right now if you were to get involved with it again. This can also be someone wise that you looked up to for advice that you may want to connect with again. And also, if you have some issue with your body right now, look into tinctures or herbal medicinal remedy for it, and that will help you. The Finch and the Peach for romance, and the Coyote and Datura for deceit. So they're saying now is not a good time to get involved with somebody Or you may also mean, it may also for you mean that you had someone wasn't what you thought, or a relationship wasn't what you thought in the past. But I have a feeling for most of you that it's warning you, don't get involved with anyone right now, because it's just not a good time. So how is your inner child going to get through all this? We have the cat and lavender for independence, which is interesting that I pulled that right after pulling that it's not a good time to get involved with somebody right now, or go deeper or anything like that. So it's important for you right now to assert your independence and your strength. That's why we had the Magician card, which very much represents that. And it's a good time for you to simplify and to do the things that you know you need to do, and like just do them. Like if you have some health issues, just do what you need to do. Figure out what medicine you need and take it, and you will have a lot of protection on your journey. I feel like you're making a switch into a new type of life right now. I think a lot of you are starting to get ready to devote your time to study. So it's important to make sure your body feels good and that you don't get entangled in relationships that may not be right for you right now. What else does your inner child need to know or need right now? Graceful persistence, the hawk and the thistle, and the fox and ivy for adaptability. So this relates to what we were talking about before. You're going to need to commit yourself to this new direction, this new pursuit, educational pursuit. And you're going to have to adapt to it. You might have to do things differently than what you're used to. Maybe you didn't want to treat, you have a condition and you didn't really want to try and treat it, but it's time to do it. I see paperwork, I see forms, I see taxes, all those things that we kind of just have to do, but don't really like doing. You're going to need to be adaptable, and you're going to need to just start just taking care of those things right now. And that's what your inner child needs you to do and needs you to know, is that it's time to just do it. Just move forward. We have the spider and passion flower for creative ingenuity. So that paired with the adaptability is saying that you can... I have a feeling that this group is very kind of countercultural. You don't like doing things the way that people seem to think that you should. So, the message being you need to be more traditional, like with the Hierophant, which is about tradition. It's saying you can be creative in the way that you do it. You don't have to do things the way everybody else does it. But there's certain important things that you shouldn't be putting off anymore. We have the Two of Wands for big picture thinking and travel. And they're telling me to pull another from this deck here. We have the Hare and the Oak for new opportunities. So this is saying you need to really embrace the change that you're going through right now. And yeah, you're used to things being the same, and you're used to kind of being stubborn about doing things your way. But as you become adaptable and do things that maybe you avoided doing in the past, but doing it in your own creative way and persisting in that path, that's what's going to open you up to new horizons that the Two of Wands represents, and new opportunities represented by the Hare. And you'll be surprised what's available to you when you change your habits and your way of living just a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't have to change your whole personality. But sometimes a little bit of change is a good thing. I also notice we have the 2 here and the 2 here. We have 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, you don't like change. And 3 of Pentacles about teamwork. So, part of that whole adaptability thing and embracing new opportunities, it might involve succumbing and doing what other people suggest from time to time. This is about teamwork and being able to build as a team. So it's time to be adaptable. It's time to just a little. That's what your inner child's asking. It's asking for flexibility, and is asking you to take care of some things and get some adulting done, shall we say. All right, what else? What else do we have for this group? The skunk and magnolia for protection. So speaking of taking care of your body and herbal medicine, you might want to take some kind of immune booster right now. And you also want to make sure that you lock your doors at night and lock your car doors and things like that. Right now is a time for, again, it's like doing the things that technically most people do. That should be done, that maybe you didn't want to do, so that you can cross all your I's and dot your T's. And it's just that structure, a little structure is being asked for right now, a little more structure than in the past. And the spirit guides are telling me that is the message for you. And so I'm just going to read you the final card. I don't think I pulled this one before. I've had this deck for a few years, and I don't think I've pulled this one before. The bear and the cedar for leadership. Let's clear these so that we can really focus on that. That's a fascinating card to pull right now, given the rest of the messages that we've had here. So the bear and the cedar, leadership. Leaders, people who lead need to be very aware of the impact of their decisions on other people and the impact of the small things. And so I think Spirit is encouraging you to practice a little more teamwork and to do things by the book a little bit more, be a little more responsible. And you think I say that knowing, a lot of us spiritual folks, I do this all the time. There's things I just don't want to do. Sometimes I don't want to lock my door because I just want to feel safe and I want to trust that I'm safe and I don't want to have to worry about all these little things. And sometimes I'm late on for filing taxes because I don't really care. So I feel like this is true. And I've met people who are very, like I had a friend who, by the rule, she didn't want to lock her doors. And I don't know that that's necessarily specifically applying to you guys, but it's just the idea of sometimes there's things that, our independent spirits want to do the intuitive thing, but sometimes we need to actually take a practical approach too, and a very direct mind-based approach rather than fully intuitive-based approach. And it's that scrupulosity that's going to allow you to be an effective leader. I think that might have been a little hard to hear some of that for some of you, but just consider it. Consider what would happen. The Ram and Dahlia, determination. Yeah, you guys were born with determination, and that's why you have your unique way of living. The duck and the chrysanthemum for luck, and you like to trust that the universe has your back all the time. And so this is saying you can have both. You can cross all your I's. What am I saying? Dot all your I's and cross all your T's. You can do the paperwork. You can do the technical things that you know that you're technically supposed to do. You can start doing a little more of that, living by the book a little bit more and a little bit more of a straight line, and still have your intuition, still rely on magic and luck, and still be the determined soul that you are to bring your unique vibration and views into the world. So this is just asking for a little bit of adaptability, a little bit of adherence to structure, so that you have new opportunities opening up for you. And that is the message that your inner child has for you and what your inner child needs to hear right now, okay? So if you have any questions or comments, let me know down below in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you would like some additional insight, you can also book a reading with me, which you can find in the description down below. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed your reading today, and I sure enjoyed reading for you. You can check out my website. I have some offerings there for classes and whatnot. And you can also, again, you can book with me at any time, and I'll include a discount code below. All right? I hope you really enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.